Hello, my name is Spencer Howell, and this is my pitch for Project and Portfolio 5, Dungeon Heart. Feed, build, and expand a dungeon of your very own, and destroy anyone foolish enough to venture into it. Dungeon Heart is a mobile/PC game that allows the player to construct and defend their very own fantasy dungeon. The player decides the layout, aesthetic, and creatures that make up their dungeon. Once their dungeon becomes large enough, it will attract the attention of treasure-hungry adventurers who are so bold as to intrude on the player's domain. Though there is opportunity in this, as killing adventurers grants the player large boosts to resources, allowing them to quickly build and grow in power. The player can use these resources to research new creatures, build new rooms, and upgrade existing structures. Though they must be careful. The larger they are, the more adventurers they attract, and if they are able to make it to the dungeon heart, they will cause it great harm. This will cause the player to lose resources and have to wait to collect new ones till the dungeon heart is repaired. Players can ensure this doesn't happen by commanding creatures of the dungeon to move to adventurers and attack them. The theme of Dungeon Heart is based in a D&D-like setting. This gives the players a myriad of creatures and aesthetic choices to customize their dungeon. This also allows players to set their own unique goals, such as acquiring specific monsters or decking out their rooms to resemble a long-lost crypt. Players can also compare their dungeons to that of their friends, or compete to be the largest dungeon in the game through the leaderboards. Though there are a few key things players want to ensure, such as protecting their heart, ensuring they have a steady source of resources, and that they are not overextending. These can all result in a player having to wait for a period of real-world time due to the core needing mending or insufficient resources. This game shares similar aspects to games such as Farmville, Backyard Monsters, or Clash of Clans. What sets it apart from these games is its ability to be continuously interactive. This is due to the constant trickle of adventurers and the boost in resources they provide. Instead of always having to wait for resources to become harvestable, there is a mix between time-ready harvestable resources and active resources. The game is meant to be a middle ground between Farmville and an RTS. The project does seem ambitious, but the main reason being asset creation, as most of the mechanics stated can be achieved through techniques we've already learned. Some of these techniques, such as nav mesh casting, object snapping, and collision meshes, are all that is needed to create rooms that can be placed on a grid, or NPCs that can seek each other out and fight. The three biggest risks I see are with asset creation, player movable prefabs, and multiplayer scoreboards. The asset creation can be simplified by using a 2D top-down format that will allow us to make simpler sprites instead of 3D rooms and creatures. This also allows us to have minimal animations, freeing up a lot of time to learn the necessary skills for making the main mechanics. Though we may have to be limited on assets, we can still create enough to give the player a variety of choices to pick from. Thank you for your time, and I hope I have your support on this project.